Hey guys, for those of you who don't know, first of all, this is the busiest week of the year at work. There's like this special event happening and we're just packed from open to close all day, every day, talking about 10-hour shifts every single fucking day, and it wears me down. And on top of that, I'm in the middle of starting my own official, legal, government recognized company. So I just don't have a lot of free time. This is all just, my life is hectic right now, so I'm going to try to make this video as brief as possible. We're talking bare bones minimum here. So bear with me. Greetings and welcome to the Fan Perspective. I'm your host, Nathan Nile, and this is WNBA Weekly, the show where every Monday I talk about everything that's happened recently in the association and things I'm looking forward to in the upcoming days. And we'll just go ahead and start off by showing you the updated standings. With only a couple weeks left in the season, we are almost completely finished and things are really starting to shape up. Currently, you've got the New York Liberty, who just clinched the playoff berth thanks to a 5-game winning streak, including the last 3 games beating the Lynx, the Sparks, and the Sun, the first, second, and third seeded teams in the WNBA right now. So the Liberty looking super dominant. They've gone back to their defensive ways. They're looking they're a wall. They are an unmovable wall, and they look like they're capable of beating anybody. Suddenly, they look like the favorites for the championship. To be fair, though, one of those teams, Minnesota, they've lost 4 of their last 6 games ever since Lindsay Whalen went out. They went from a team that looked like they could break records to just completely out of sorts. And some of their losses, though, they've come against good teams. They came against the surging Liberty and the Sparks. They also lost a game to the Fever, who they did later come back and completely destroy, breaking all kinds of records. But still, the Fever, they sucked as it was, and now they're just super banged up right now. I didn't think the injury to Whalen would cause this much discord in that organization. I mean, yes, she's that point guard. It's arguably the most important position in basketball, and with her gone, you've seen them. It's not necessarily like they stopped playing bad, but they're no longer as scary. They're not dominating like they used to. Still haven't lost as many games as Atlanta, though. The Dream have now dropped to 9 consecutive. But yeah, the Whalen injury and the subsequent suckiness of the Lynx in her absence show you the value of leadership and team chemistry. They lose their floor general, and that just upsets the entire balance of things. And now, with the Lynx fall completely out of sorts right now, with the Sparks still having matchups against them, it looks like LA has a legitimate chance of possibly stealing that #1 seed late in the season. But for the Sparks, that 2nd seed isn't safe either. They're in danger of losing that 2nd round bye if the Sun and the Liberty continue winning as much as they have. And in case you hadn't heard the news, New York and Washington become the 4th and 5th teams to clinch a playoff berth. The Fever have been eliminated. The Atlanta Dream, they've lost 9 straight games, but last I checked, still not mathematically eliminated. However, it appears to me that their only real chance of getting in is that they have to win every single game from here to the season and hope that the Storm and Sky both lose every single game from here to the end of the season. So even though officially the Dream do technically still have a chance, it ain't happening. But honestly, anyone who's brave enough to stand up and say that the Dream are going to get into the playoffs, go ahead, go to Vegas and put your life savings on it, because that'll make you like an instant billionaire. The odds are so heavily stacked against them. And there are a couple of other playoff scenarios I want to talk about, but we'll do that in our final segment where I look ahead to all of the games being played this week. I'll let you know which ones are being aired nationally. For everything else, check your local listings, or you can watch every single game on WNBA League Pass. The Mercury right now are the most interesting team to pay attention to down the stretch. They have enough time left and a small enough separation that if they can go on a winning streak to close out the season, they could climb into the top 4, get that first round bye in the playoffs, play at home. But they also have a tough enough schedule that they have not officially clinched a playoff berth. I don't see them losing every single game. I think they're talented enough. You can expect at least a couple of wins, but they have a very tough schedule. So right now, it is a very real possibility that Phoenix could just fall off the map completely and entirely miss out on the playoffs. Highly unlikely, but possible. I mean, looking at their schedule this week, they've got 3 games. One of them is against the number 1 seeded Lynx, another one against the number 2 seeded Sparks, and another one against the Seattle Storm, who have won 4 in a row, undefeated under Coach Kloppenburg, and they are fighting to secure their own playoff berth. So the Mercury, they got the talent, but it's a rough stretch, so they've got to go hard and just finish with some good strong wins in order to guarantee that playoff berth. Got the Dallas Wings, who are basically in the exact same boat as the Mercury. Chance to climb up, chance to be knocked out completely, and now they're facing playoff teams in the Sun and the Mystics. You've also got the Chicago Sky. As great and talented as they've been playing, they still need to stack a bunch of wins together in order to fight their way in. And this week, they're playing the Sun and the Liberty. And on that note, with Chicago, they've lost their last 2 games, and especially with the game against Seattle that just got played, more than anything else, they just looked tired. I saw a team that looked just completely worn out. And that's the thing that scares me the most about them right now. They're a talented team. I think they can get into the playoffs. I think they deserve to be into the playoffs. But when you look at some of the teams they're facing in the stretch run and how hard they had to fight just to get themselves in a position where they have a shot at it, you can understand them being completely wiped out. You can understand how fatigue could start setting in right now. Notice how I haven't mentioned the Storm. Well, I mean, they look like I thought they would at the beginning of the year when I said they'd finish in the top 4. Now, Kloppenburg has been playing very well. I've said this before, every team that this guy is on usually finds success. He's a good coach. I don't understand how he hasn't had a permanent head coaching job yet. Seattle hasn't officially clinched, but the way they're playing right now, it seems inevitable. And even with the teams that are in the playoffs, there's still a lot left to fight for. Seeding is still undetermined for most of them. You've got, like on Friday, the Liberty versus the Mystics. The Liberty have taken the 4th seed thanks to their winning streak, but the Mystics still have a chance to steal it back. You've got on Sunday the Sparks versus the Lynx, and the Sparks, especially now the way the Lynx have been playing, still a legitimate chance for LA to steal the number 1 seed with a long winning streak heading into the postseason, build up a ton of momentum. Also, for the Atlanta fans out there, bad news, you're facing the Storm, so it looks like you're probably going to get that 10th straight loss. Good news, though, after that you face the Fever, who still suck on the road, so it looks like you could probably get at least 1 win before the season ends. Anyways, that's it for this edition of WNBA Weekly, and until the next time, my name is Nathan Lyle. I hope you have a good week. Enjoy it. It's the stretch run, man. It's getting really exciting. You see teams with a lot to play for really giving it their all. For some of these teams out there, like the Sky, the Mercury, the Wings, the playoffs are already starting right now. They're already fighting for their lives.